What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and by popular demand. What's going on, everyone? It's Mike, it's John back again, and this is your preview show. Manchester City come to the glorious, the fantastic, the very blue Goodison Park, the first and only fantastically massive big blue team. John, you glad to be at home? Would you prefer playing away these days? I mean, we're not bad away, are we?
We're not bad away, but listen, I think this is 3 games to go at Goodison now. The date has been confirmed for the Southampton game, which I'm sure we're going to hit on very briefly because this is a match preview. Listen, the way Everton are going about their business lately, you know, getting beat by an offside goal, I'll mention that again against the other lot, drawing with Arsenal, beating a good Forest team away from home in the 94th minute. Everton can take a lot of confidence going into this game. And I just think if Everton can play to the capabilities that we have been, especially since David Moyes has come in, there's been a lot of draws, lost 2 out of 13. We do come up against a Man City team, which very hot and cold lately, Haaland's out. So I honestly think this is a game that Everton can go into very confident that we can get another 3 points. I'm confident we can put a good show on Saturday, and I'm confident that we can get a really good result against a Man City team. Listen, they've got great players all over the pitch. Just because they haven't had, because they haven't won the league doesn't make them a poor team. I just think if Everton can play the way we have been since David Moyes has come in and he picks the right team selection with the right tactics, which he got absolutely spot on against Forest, they're going to know they're in for the game Saturday. Can't hear you.
I was muted. I don't think I could say it better myself, to be honest, John. I think we haven't beat Manchester City since 2017, I think it is, at Goodison. And there's been some games where we've been robbed. There's been some poor decisions. The Rodri handball always sticks out for me. And we've been shafted a few times even before then. I remember playing them in the Carabao Cup and Raheem Sterling scoring a goal that went out of play. And we've always been at the wrong end of decisions against Manchester City. But David Moyes and Manchester City with Everton actually doesn't have a bad record. You can go back to the days where, Tim Cahill used to play and we used to win 2-0 away, and at home, Mikel Arteta, Leon Osman, they used to score goals. And David Moyes against Manchester City, he won't be fazed by it. He's not going to be worried about it. He's just gone to a team that was 3rd in the league, and to be honest, he dominated them. We've just got a point against a team that's beat Real Madrid home and away in the Champions League. He as you rightly said, we lost to an offside decision against Liverpool in a game that Everton were very much in, and in the first half probably should have been 2-0 up. So Everton have proven that we're no mugs, and actually, Julia Bold today, she said under certain connotations, I think Europe can go down to 11th. Now, look, I don't think we should be targeting Europe this season. I think we've had too many draws. I think we've only won 9 games and we've drew 14 games or something, So although we haven't conceded many goals and we haven't lost that many games in comparison to the top 4 and top 6, etc., we've just drew too many games. And that was because at the time we couldn't score enough goals. We weren't getting results. There'd been a couple of games in this recent run with Moyes where I think we drew 5 out of 6 games. And it sort of killed any ambition of Europe that we may or may not have had. But irrespective of that, the confidence that David Moyes has installed in not just the players, but us as fans, did you think... Let's go back 4 months, John. Let's 4 months, the 17th of December. Did you sit here thinking that you would predict that Everton could beat Manchester City?
No, mate, I had us down under the previous manager, and the longer he stayed, the more I was convinced that we were going to go down. And even with David Moyes coming in, You know, it wasn't a given that we were going to stay up. But whatever he's done to the squad of players and whatever he's done to Everton Football Club as an entity has fueled all our fires now. And, you know, we're standing here, we're sitting here, and I'm predicting we could beat Manchester City. I'm talking about we got beat by the Premier League champions, because they are going to win the league, by a dodgy decision. We give them a game twice this season. We drew with a team, quite right you say. We beat Real Madrid twice. We got a draw off them. And we go up against the Manchester City team where we play like we did against Notts Forest. I honestly think we can get a result. What David Moyes has done, mate, I seen a stat before. I'm going to ask you, I don't know if I'm putting this right, but the amount of points David Moyes has picked up since he come in, if we were in a relegation battle, as in the bottom three, and we were bottom, he's picked up enough points for Everton to be safe on goal difference. Just the points he's got alone.
I think that was... You might be right. Yeah, you might be right. I'm trying to think of how many points Ipswich have got, but yeah, mate, you might be right. I mean, David Moyes has done a phenomenal job, and I think either before this weekend or after this weekend, the table come out about where Everton would be. If they, you know, from when David Moyes come in to now, and Everton would be fifth.
Yeah,
you know, it's an outstanding achievement, and it's funny, really, because if you look at the teams that we've played this season, the top teams, or the so-called deemed top teams, we've took points off all of them. Yeah. We've literally took points off all of them. Even under Sean Dyche, to be fair, we took points off. You know, we went to Manchester City and got a draw. We went to Arsenal, we got a draw. We have been absolutely no mugs defensively this season. Even under Dyche, we were fine defensively, I would argue. He just didn't know how to set up a team to go and attack at all. I mean, it was so poor. It was so dead. But look, for me, I think it's really key that we just continue pressing. And you are right with what you said about tactics in this game. We need to go and press City like we press Forest.
David Moyes, in his wildest dreams, did not think that Everton would have lost 2 out of 13 games. Even he wouldn't have thought that. And listen, there was Everton fans out there who didn't want him. There's no pleasing Everton fans. There's some Everton fans just moan about everything and anything. I've seen some fans moaning that it's a 12 o'clock Sunday kickoff. Other fans were moaning that they didn't want a Monday night 8 o'clock kickoff. There's no pleasing some fans. I'm okay with the 12 o'clock kickoff of a Sunday. What Everton have got planned for the rest of the afternoon, we can all enjoy for the final time at Goodison. So these people who are moaning about the lunchtime kickoff on a Sunday are probably the people who would have moaned about an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Monday night. There's just no pleasing some Everton fans. But you know, these Everton fans who didn't want David Moyes, and I'm being a really big advocate for David Moyes here because I wanted him back. And there's no happier Everton fan out there made up for David Moyes what he's done on his second coming. And them Everton fans made it eating humble pie because I think he's done a phenomenal job. And I honestly don't think of a manager out there who could have done what he's done. He's come in to a squad of players and got an extra 10, 15, even 20% out of some of them. He's got Beto, yeah, he went through a purple patch, but he got him scoring goals. He's got Jack Addison putting a half-decent performance in. He's got Garner Guy rolling back the years. He's carried on with the most weeks under Sean Dyche, the strong defence, but he's built on that defence. Sean Dyche was just happy with the defensive side of it and try and score from dead ball situations or hitting teams on the break. Now, David Moyes is happy with the back line, but he's also sorted to his best of his ability with the players we've got, the attacking side of it. And I think with Dwight McNeil coming in now as well, looks like he's going to get minutes from now to the end of the season. It looks like he could start on Saturday. David Moyes said that at his press conference today. In the next 2 days, hopefully he'll have enough training for Dwight McNeil to start. And I have no problem. Never thought I'd say it. I think in some certain games we've probably missed the Dwight McNeil, whether it's on the left-hand side, whether it's in the middle. You know, we did go through a purple patch before he got injured of playing in that number 10, and he looked assured there as well. I have no problem putting Enda in the middle, putting Dwight McNeil out on the left. Yes, excuse me, going forward, I do think we need another winger instead of Dwight McNeil, because he's not blessed with pace, and he's even slower now than what he was. So we'd have no problem putting him in the middle. If we are just going to bring a right winger in, I'm leaving Ndiaye on the left and just putting Dwight McNeil in the middle. But I'll be happy to see Dwight McNeil back in the starting lineup. Listening to David Moyes' press conference today as well, I do think he starts with Brozier on Saturday. David Moyes come out and said, you know, I've always thought his proper position was on the left-hand side, but according to David Moyes, he's never seen him play there for Southampton or Chelsea. So he classes him as a striker. So if he's talking like that, I do think you see Armando Brozier start on Saturday up front. He's got from now till the end of the season to try and get himself another loan deal or a permanent deal. I'm not over the moon about that. I did see some of the comments last night saying they didn't want Brozier to come in permanently or even another loan deal. We haven't seen enough from him for him to warrant that. So I am just talking now because Michael's gone to turn the boiler off. Apparently, I don't know why the boiler's on in there. I was frigging roasting. But yeah, this is a game that I do think we can go into with confidence high. David Moyes wants to pick up as many points as he can from now to the end of the season. We all know what each position in the league is worth money-wise. But I'm just over the moon with what he's done. So let's talk about the game in depth, where it can be won and where it can be lost. Listen, we can't let City play the game. You know, they've got some great players. Kevin De Bruyne is coming to the end of his Manchester City. He's coming to the end of his Man City career now, and it looks like he's rolling back the years the last couple of times I've seen him in the last couple of games. Obviously, you've got Phil Foden. You've brought Marmoush in, who's capable of scoring a goal. They are out with, they are missing Haaland. If we can get it, this Manchester City team, and do, as I said before, what we've done against Notts Forest, I really give it a chance. And I think the game can be won the same way as we won at Forest. And what I also want to add before Michael comes in about what David Moyes has done, he's brought the winning mentality back into this squad. And you've seen that last week. Under Sean Dyche, we probably would have went for a point. Come the 85th minute, he probably would have closed up shop against the third place team, Nottingham Forest. But no, he kept going for it, and it's the winning mentality. And he kept pushing the players on, and we got our rewards.
Do you know the other thing I like about David? And sorry I had to leave everyone. My boiler decided that he didn't want to produce any hot water, so the wife walked in naked, fuming that the bath was cold. So your boy had to go out, sort the boiler out. So yeah, look, I think the big thing with David Moyes, and he did it today in his press conference, it's how casual it is about how he's winning, if you get what I mean. It's almost like he's masterminding everything, and he's like, yeah, it's what I expected. It's what, his comments today, he was asked a few things, and he's like, he was asked a question about Brozier, for example, and we all know that Brozier's played on the left-hand side for Southampton. We all know that he's played on the left for his country. And David Moyes is like, has he? Yeah,
I've just spoke about that.
Yeah. So the point I'm making is that David Moyes, he's made us all relax. Do you get what I mean? Like every single game we go into, I feel relaxed. And, if those players, we've seen it, they will now play till the end. And you are right, what you've just said about the 85th minute, Sean Dyche would have shut up shop and been happy with a point. But yet, David Moyes, making substitutions, trying to change the game. And I think he'll set up that way this weekend. I think he'll set up to have a real go at them. And I'll just go into my team for this weekend, John. I don't make a change. I don't make a change. And, I know you've just mentioned about McNeil potentially, but for me, I don't think I'll make a change. I think the performance last week by those players, those starting 11 and the substitutes, I thought was a good performance. So I don't make any changes. And we'll just see if they can do it again. But it's a tough game to do it. But they played well last week.
I think in hindsight, I think last week's team selection raised a few eyebrows. But when you look back now, the performance that the starting 11 put in, and then he got his substitutions right, and the substitutions worked. We kept going to the end. But Beto done all right when he come on. Obviously, Dwight McNeil sets the goal up. I just think when you look back at last week, it's probably, now we can say it, it's probably the best manager's performance he's done since he's been back at the club, with his team selection and his substitutes and his in-game changes and his tactical awareness around the game and how he's set up. It's probably the manager's best performance since he's been at Everton. Listen, he's had a few. We've lost 2 out of 13. So I'm not going to have a pop at him because they haven't all been like that. But the more he's working with these players, he's finding out certain players and what their strengths are. And what I like as well, Michael, you've got certain players coming out now saying what it's been like since David Moyes come in. And Jake O'Brien said there's rumours going around that him and Sean Dyche didn't see eye to eye. It wasn't like that, but they did have words because there was weeks that he thought he should have been playing and he wasn't. I haven't heard one player come out and say a bad thing about David Moyes. All I've heard from certain Everton players when they've spoke about the manager, it's only positive. The positivity them Everton players are feeling now is what we as a fan base are feeling. And this is what this man's done to us since he's come back to the club. Can't hear you again.
It's because I mute my mic because it catches me breathing and no one wants to listen to that. Do you get what I mean? No one wants that. Yeah, look, score prediction?
1-0 Everton.
I agree.
That's 2 weeks on the run.
No, I disagree. Last week, I said Everton would lose last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I demonstrated I know nothing about football last week. Demonstrated it. And this is the thing, where people say, oh, yeah, Mike, you sit there and you give it the big and that you know football and you used to play football. Look, I've just put my hands up. I put my hands up in the preview, in the reaction as well. Sometimes I don't know everything about football. It's rare. It is rare because I do know in that game. John, I just want to give a little shout out if I can. I received an email. So actually, I've received a couple of emails over the last 2 days from subscribers, which is always nice. One was a guy called Greg P, who basically just sent me an email saying how good we are and what are you laughing at? Was that Frankie? Was it Frankie? I don't understand. Where's he gone? What's going on?
Greg who?
Greg P? Greg Purton?
Come on. I'm not laughing at Greg Pig or whatever his name was. That's just the way you said it.
Greg P?
Oh, I thought you said Greg Pig.
No. Greg P? Oh,
right, go on.
I tell you what, we've lost a subscriber now. That's it. But anyway, he just.
I was laughing at you, you heifer.
He basically said that he basically loves the channel and he's hoping that one day he can meet us at a game and have a beer with us essentially and keep up the good work. So, Greg, thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. And anyone that emails, I do get them. So, yeah, make sure if you do, put your name at the bottom of it and I'll try and pronounce it correctly instead of John and Frankie ripping the shit out of your name. Oink, oink.
I just wanted to add something while we're on the subject of subscribing.
I haven't finished yet.
Oh, sorry. Go on then.
I said 2 people, John. Fucking wait. And the other one is a guy called Gary Ashworth who sent me. I I mean, this shocked me. So we briefly communicated with each other before, and I'm an Everton fan living in Botswana.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. You know, when you sit there and you think that's unbelievable. That is absolutely incredible. But what this guy's done is he's created a starting 11 pitch graphic for us for Blue Boys Network, and he's done a headshot of every single Everton player. So going forward, certainly into next season now, we can literally put
losing 13 of them.
Yeah. Sorry, bud. Sorry, Gary. You're gonna have to do some more. But he's literally sent us every player as a headshot, so we can create a starting 11 graphic for each game. So completely unrequested, just dropped into my emails, talking about changing dimensions. And he thought it might be useful when you and John are predicting the squad. And I just thought that was lovely. So yeah, he actually has a website. This is not sponsored, but it only makes sense to give him a shout out. It's bluezebra.creative.com. So go and have a little look. He's got all sorts on here. So just go and have a look and support him if you can. John, over to you. You wanted to mention something?
Yeah, so we have a lovely subscriber in our comments who actually loves the way I say Notts Forest. So I just want to say it for him for a few times. Notts Forest, Notts Forest, Notts Forest, Notts Forest. There you go. And you won't hear me say that again. Right? He's losing sleep over me calling him Notts Forest. I mean,
it's. I mean, look. I mean, the one thing I would say, because I actually had this discussion with Wolfie on Forest Fan TV. So obviously, I find it, and we find it, and Everton fans find it incredibly disrespectful about the poverty singing. Yeah. And they find it incredibly disrespectful calling them Notts Forest rather than Nottingham Forest. So, hey, if you're going to be, if you can't create two rights by two wrongs. I don't know what the saying is. Do you know what the saying is? You know what I'm trying to say?
Don't make it wrong.
Two wrongs don't make a right. We've gone the right way. That's it.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. I tell you what's going to be wrong on Monday when me and John can't see straight. But yeah, look, you're a bellend. Just that's all I'm going to say. I love you. You're a bellend. Right. Brilliant. Right. I haven't got any more to add. I mean, we've literally just absolutely cremated the video for the last 5 minutes. I mean, it's just...
You can tell the season's coming to an end, can't you? Normally a match preview is speak about how we can win it, talk about Everton, talk about the opposition, how we can stop them winning it. Team news, score prediction done within 10 minutes. 23 minutes in, we're talking about Botswana, we're talking about Notts Forest, and we're talking about me and you in Spain on Monday, not being able to see straight. I mean, you've had the whole shebang in this video.
Honestly. John, I'm just getting over some of your messages you've sent me. So Everton have been linked with Albert Goodmanson.
Strong links.
Say again.
Strong links, apparently.
Strong links. Genoa forward on loan at Fiorentina. I think he's Icelandic international, obviously.
With a name like that, I think he would be.
Yeah, let's hope this one works out better than the last one.
I should go.
Oh my God. Oh, you are a bellend. Everton's final game at Goodison, you have mentioned 12 o'clock kickoff. I don't know how I feel about it, so I'm just going to skip past it. And Ipswich Town striker Liam Delap will apparently turn down and move to Manchester United. So all this, this big stuff, Liam Delap might join Man United. I don't know. I genuinely think Everton are in the hunt for him, I genuinely think it could happen.
Well, listen, if Man United pull out, and I know Man United are poor, he was probably watching the video last night when they said if he goes to Man United, he'll probably set his career back 3 years because they're that poor. I actually think Everton finish well above Man United next season. So he's probably been watching the Blue Boys network and he's given Everton some serious consideration. I'd have him all day, mate, before Evan Ferguson. I'd love Liam to lap at Everton. It's a David Moyes sort of player. He's a typical number 9 for our football club from what we see in years gone by. I think he would improve the team no end up with better players around him as well.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Right, guys, we are leaving it there. 25 minutes and 27 minutes. No, 7 minutes.
25 minutes and 27 minutes.
I meant to say 7 minutes of the 25 minutes was horrendous. Right, anyway. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Please don't unsubscribe because this has been not very professional. We are where we are.
I know where we'll be on Monday at 10 o'clock.
Oh, dear God.
I
know where I'll be. In Lisa's bedroom. Right, guys. Brilliant. Jesus wept. Right, guys, look, we're going. Right, see you soon. Up the toffees.